Hello grade 5 students! For today's video, we're going to talk about dynamic markings. In music, we use the word dynamics to describe the volume of music. It is an element of music which refers to the degree of loudness and softness of sound. It is one of the expressive elements that adds more beauty in a composition. Dynamics is the volume in music. They indicate how loud or soft the music should be sung or played. It can also be gradual or sudden change of volume. In printed and digital music, dynamics are written in Italian. For instrumental parts, dynamic markings are placed under or nearby a note or beneath a musical staff. For vocal parts, the dynamic markings are placed above or nearby a note or on top of the musical staff. Moreover, composers use dynamics to change the mood of the music. It is very important to know and to apply the different dynamic markings and also the different musical signs and symbols in a composition for you to be able to play or sing more accurately. One of the best ways of applying dynamics in a song is to be familiar with the different dynamic markings and to understand each meaning.
The chart below indicates the different Italian terms for dynamic levels and its corresponding meaning and symbols. We have first the pianissimo. It means as soft as possible with the symbol of 3-piece. Next, pianissimo, which means very soft with the symbol of 2-piece. Piano, meaning it is soft with the symbol of letter P. Mezzo piano, which means moderately soft with the symbol of MP. Mezzo forte, moderately loud with the symbol of MF. Next, we have forte, which means loud. Its symbol is letter F. Fortissimo is very loud with the symbol of 2 Fs. Fortissimo, which means as loud as possible with the symbol of 3 Fs. Crescendo, gradually becoming loud with the symbol of less than. Decrescendo, which means gradually being soft with the symbol of greater than. The main dynamic levels are P or piano, which means soft, and F or forte, which means loud. More subtle degrees of loudness or softness are indicated by MP for mezzo piano, which means moderately soft, and MF for mezzo forte, which means moderately loud. Aside from F and P, there are also PP, which stands for pianissimo, meaning very soft, while FF stands for fortissimo, meaning very loud. To gradually change the dynamics, musicians use crescendo to increase in volume or gradually becoming loud, and decrescendo to decrease in volume or gradually becoming soft.
So we have here example pictures for the sounds that we hear in our surroundings. So first picture we have the forte. Next is the piano, the fortissimo, and the pianissimo. Singing is like a storytelling. It is not about how good your vocal is, but on how well you deliver a song to your audience. The aim is to invoke an emotional response to your audience, and you cannot do that by singing at one volume level for the whole song. Imagine when you listen to a speaker who is speaking in a monotone manner. The worst thing is to sing the song in one volume from the start till the end of a song. That is why adding dynamics to music makes a song or performance more interesting and dramatic. This can even turn a mediocre performance into a great one. It can also create light and shade within your song and can help you sound more polished and professional even if you are just starting out.
Tulog Na is an example of lullaby or cradle song. The dynamic symbols found in the song are called soft level dynamic markings. These are P, PP, PPP, and MP. It means that these songs should be sung in a soft level. The word or words with P dynamic mark, such as nanay, tahan, and o, should be sung softly, whereas words like dum-dum should be sung in a very soft level. Tulog Na should be sung in a moderately soft, somewhat louder than a piano, but softer than forte.
Here is our activity, mark the dynamics. For the guidelines, in number 1, this activity will be an individual task. Number 2, every individual will be given a worksheet containing a sample music sheet in which the dynamics appears to be unidentified. Number 3, a selected song that has a varying dynamic will be played in class. The student will be asked to listen carefully to the song. Number 4, in this activity, the student will identify what is the appropriate dynamic level should be marked. And then number 5, students will be given 10 minutes to answer the worksheet.
This is the worksheet, a sample music sheet of London Bridge's song.
Rubrics. 10 for excellent. Student reads and notates appropriate dynamic markings when given a musical selection perfectly. Students can recognize proper placing of a dynamic without errors. Student can analyze, describe, and evaluate music recognizing its dynamics without errors. 8 for proficient. Students either reads appropriate dynamic markings when given a musical selection or can notate appropriate dynamic markings when given a musical selection but does not do both. Student can recognize proper placing of a dynamic with some errors. Students can analyze, describe, and evaluate music recognizing its dynamics but with some errors. And 5 for satisfactory. Students does not read or notate appropriate dynamic markings when given a musical selection. Student does not recognize the proper placing of a dynamic. Students does not participate in analyzing, describing, or evaluating music to recognizing its dynamics. And overall rating.
Members of the group. We have Eliza May Espares, Donnie Rose Tordesillas, Riza May Matacubo, Rexy Ann Parcon, Carl Fred Destura, and Hans Buendia.
And here are the references.